right, let's talk about something that can be a real game changer for our relationships. It's a simple, gentle tool called the Imago Dialogue. And really, what it is a structure for having safer, clearer conversations, whether that's with your partner, a friend, anyone really. Let's get into it. So, have you ever had this happen? You're in a conversation, maybe about something tiny, like who is supposed to take out the trash, and all of a sudden, it just explodes into this huge thing. We've all been there, right? So the big question is, why? Why do these small moments so often feel so incredibly big? Well, here's the thing. It's almost never just about the words that are being said in that moment. What's really happening is that your nervous system is picking up on old patterns. Maybe a certain tone of voice zaps you right back to being a kid getting in trouble. Or a look on their face feels just like a time you were dismissed. Suddenly, the past is sitting right there in the room with the present. And that's exactly where having a structure can save the day. See, the goal here isn't to solve the problem immediately. Nope. The goal is to hit the pause button to slow everything way down so our bodies can feel safe again. It's all about connection first, and you'll find the solution comes way easier after that. So what is this thing exactly? The Imago Dialogue is just a structured way of talking that helps us shift from that automatic, knee-jerk reaction and move toward actually understanding each other. It basically creates this protected space, like a bubble, just for the two of you. The whole process boils down to two very clear, simple roles. First, you have the speaker. Their only job is to share what's going on in their world, from their point of view. And the listener, their job is to just hold a steady, quiet space. And, this is the hardest part, they do not fix, they do not defend, and they do not interrupt. Okay, so this whole structure rests on 3 pillars. And I like calling them pillars because they're not really rules to memorize. They're the actual steps you take to build this little sanctuary for your conversation. Let's walk through them. So the 3 steps are mirror, validate, and empathize. And the order here really matters because each step builds right on top of the one before it, creating this powerful feeling of safety and connection. Let's start with number 1, mirroring. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. The listener just repeats back the essence of what they heard the speaker say, and they do it in their own calm, steady voice. The whole point is just to receive the information, not to react to it. And then, after you mirror what you heard, you ask this simple, but honestly, magic question. Did I get that? This little phrase is so important. It's a check-in. It tells the other person, hey, I'm really trying to get this right. And the effect this has on the speaker is huge. When they hear their own words reflected back accurately, it sends this powerful message straight to their nervous system that says, you're being seen. I hear you. Your world actually matters to me. And you can almost feel the tension in the room just soften. Okay, on to step 2, which builds on that foundation. This is validation. Now, this is absolutely crucial. Validation is not the same as agreement. You don't have to agree with a single thing they said. All you're doing is recognizing that from their perspective, what they're saying makes sense. A really easy way to phrase this is something like, from where you're standing, that makes total sense. Or even just, I can see why you'd feel that way. It's this simple little acknowledgement of their reality, and you don't have to give up your own to do it. What this does is it builds a bridge between your 2 different worlds. It tells the speaker, hey, I don't think you're crazy. Your perspective is understandable. And that just melts away defensiveness and opens the door for a real connection. And that brings us to the final step, number 3, empathy. This is where the listener takes this gentle, imaginative leap. You're just taking a guess at the emotion that might be living underneath all the words. So you might say something like, I imagine that must have felt really painful. Or maybe, I'm guessing you might have felt really alone right then. See? It's not a fact. It's just a caring guess about their emotional world. And this last step, this is what brings it all home. It gives the speaker permission to feel whatever it is they're feeling and to have that feeling seen and understood. This is that final layer that truly settles both people down and really cements that feeling of connection. Okay, so we've talked about the theory, but let's actually feel what this is like. We're going to do a super quick internal practice right now so you can start to notice how safety actually feels inside your own body. So, wherever you are, just take a second. I want you to think of someone you care about. And then bring to mind a small, and I mean really small, low-stakes moment where you wanted to share something that felt a little bit vulnerable or hard to say. Got it? Okay, just hold that memory gently. Now, just in your mind's eye, imagine saying one simple sentence to that person about what you were feeling in that moment. Picture yourself just sharing it. And now, instead of whatever their usual reaction might be, imagine them just quietly mirroring you. Hear them, in a calm voice, repeat the essence of what you just said, and then ask, "Did I get that?" Just take a breath and notice how that feels in your body. And now, imagine them validating you. Hear their voice say, "That makes sense." What does it feel like to just have your perspective accepted as understandable? Even doing this little rehearsal in your mind can start to teach your body what this kind of safety actually feels like. So, how do we actually bring this into our real lives? Well, the most important thing to remember is that mantra from the beginning: connection before correction. Always, always, always prioritize feeling connected before you even think about trying to solve the problem. So when's a good time to use this? Well, it's perfect for those times you feel misunderstood, or you can feel a conflict starting to bubble up. It's great when you want to share something vulnerable, and it's an amazing tool for repairing things after an argument. Or even just when you want to feel closer. The trick is to start small. Practice on the little things. Because here's the beautiful thing. With a little bit of practice, this structure starts to feel totally natural. It fades into the background, and all you're left with is just presence with each other. It's so important to remember that real, lasting safety in a relationship isn't built in some big, grand gesture. It's built slowly, one gentle conversation at a time.